Thanks everybody for being here. We'll get started in just a few minutes.
Okay.
And not muted.
So we mute.
She's probably muted us. Carol, we muted?
No.
No, you have to mute yourself, or I can ask you to mute, but I can't mute you anymore. We appreciate y'all being here. Give us just a few minutes and we'll get started. We have 1 minute and then we will get started. We have everybody on the call that we need. So I want to thank everybody for being here. We're trying to bring you as many resources as we possibly can during this really trying time. And before we get started, before I introduce our guests today, I would like to give you all a few reminders. As you saw today in the news that came out from the New Mexico Restaurant Association, there are only 2 days left to get the Small Business CARES Act relief grants. And I want every restaurant in New Mexico to get one of these grants. There's a few things you have to do to qualify for it, but please, please, please apply for these grants because it's free money. It's money you don't have to pay back. And that's right in this day and age. That's what we need is grants rather than loans. I'm going to skip this about our webinar today because that's coming up. I would like to tell you all that we are having some restaurant town halls. These are mainly for legislators, but I want to be sure and have restaurateurs on these calls as well, because legislators may have questions for restaurateurs and especially restaurateurs in their district. So if you know a legislator in your district, please ask them to join these webinars. And again, it's town halls. It's going to be the same content for each one of these webinars. And it will be Monday, January 4th at 3, Wednesday, January 6th at 3, and Friday, January 8th at 3. All of these are on Facebook Live. We're not necessarily going to send out a Zoom meeting invitation because that's the way the legislators can participate is on Facebook Live. So really push those webinars because we need legislators to know, number one, what's happening in restaurants right now, and a lot of them don't know. And number two, we need them to know what kind of relief that we're asking for, which is also something you should know. So we've got a relief package that we're going to be talking to them about during this time. And again, you should know that as well. We have a few more days to tell Congress that we need relief. Congress will leave Washington on Friday. If they have not passed a relief package for small businesses and for restaurants, then we won't see a relief package until the end of January. And what we're telling them right now is we cannot wait, especially in states like New Mexico where we are completely shut down. We cannot wait for these relief grants because people are going out of business on a moment by moment basis. And so please tell Congress. This red button basically takes you to a travel and tourism action taking, and the other one takes you to a restaurant action. And do them both. You know, the more the merrier. It is that kind of season anyway. And speaking of that, our Serving New Mexico Fund, you know, I'm really proud of this fund. We raised $100,000 this year, and we gave that out in grants to our hospitality employees. We gave out like almost 450 grants to people who really needed it. And those folks were just so overwhelmed by the generosity of that grant. Again, it was a grant to folks, and usually between $250 and $500, and they were really appreciative of those grants at the time. And we know that people in our industry are suffering right now. I know you all may not have the money to do this, and I'm not asking you to donate money you don't have, but certainly your customers are asking how they can help, and this is one of those ways they can help. There's a survey. It's the National COVID Transmission Survey. This survey is from the National Restaurant Association. They are trying to make scientific-based decisions. Oh, really? Interesting. On the restrictions and what's happening. And so it's really helpful if you can take that survey. And a couple of free advertising opportunities. Cumulus Radio is offering free spots in Santa Fe, Albuquerque, and Espanola. And then the Premium Shopping Guide is offering a free page. So please take advantage of these things. Anything we can do right now to help you through this time is really important. And with that, I want to tell you about Addmi. I have known the CEO of Addmi since he was developing the Lavu point of sale system. And I'm going to get him to tell us how long ago that is. I can remember when he came to my office and asked me what I thought about the iPad ordering system he was developing. And I'm kind of a Mac gal, so I was real excited about what he was doing. He grew his company Lavu into 5,000 customers in 5 years and raised 15 million in his first growth round. Today, Lavu is in 85 countries and 6 continents. Andy did step down from Lavu to start Addmi and has continued his innovation in the restaurant industry. And I'm very happy to introduce Andy Lim to tell us about his new COVID-safe ordering system.
Thanks, Carol. I very appreciate you guys taking the time. And so, you know, I'm not going to bore you guys with all the history about, you know, this familiar industry. We're pretty familiar with it. And obviously, it's very tough moment for a lot of merchant restaurant. And we have this, it's kind of like a serendipity in terms of how we have this QR code. You know, we've been using QR code for a while, as a matter of fact. So the first restaurant that used our QR code system for ordering is actually Magogoro. If you guys know about Magogoro, there's a Japanese restaurant by the Manal and Samatel. They actually already have the system about a year and 14 months ago. So we actually came out with this QR code system, contactless ordering, prior to anything's happening, you know, because it just helped them improve efficiency. If you think about it, people have to, you know, when they come to the restaurant, yes, it's a service restaurant, but what if you want to make it super efficient? What if you are super busy? You can't wait for the waiter to just come and you know, ask for your order and you know, and take your order and then go back and then ask you, and then people have to ask for the check and you give the credit card and come back and forth, too many back and forth. I think we saved at least 70% of those back and forth time that the merchant can use. So my point is, when we created this, we just think of improving efficiency. But at the end of the day, if we're going to do this and it start, when we start really doing the point of sale, which is about 14 months ago, we felt like, okay, well, another point of sale, that doesn't make any difference. There's a lot of point of sale out there. The goal of our company always been, how do we increase sales and decrease the cost? If you look at the example that we have right now, is that like decreasing cost, for example, we don't have monthly fee. So this system is completely free for you to use. There's no monthly fee. There's no, you have the online ordering, you have the QR code. Now we add delivery, okay? And the delivery cost is like 10% versus Grubhub and DoorDash that is charging up to 30%. And that's how we decrease the cost. And the reason we can do that is we've been clever with the system. How do we do it? Like instead of using, say, a Postmate, for example, we use just their fleet. We don't use the online ordering. They're charging people for that too. So that's why we can decrease our cost from 30% to 10%. And you know, in terms of the monthly fee, we felt like the customer don't mind helping the restaurateurs. Why don't we tag in just a little bit fee to them, 15% to 15 cents to 30 cents of the transactions? Nobody mind. We have probably about 1 million orders right now that nobody complained about that 30-cent charge on the order, as long as you make it valuable and efficient, and they love it. And we have a lot of testimonial actually that people love our ordering system. There's no app downloading. You don't create an account, so you don't log in, so keep forgetting password. Yuck, we don't do that. So that's you know, I can go on and on, but I think you know, the difference here today with Addmi is that we have, you know, high caliber people, not just high caliber people, but people that actually own restaurant. I'm gonna pass it over to Daniel. Daniel is working with us, but he's actually a restaurateur for 20 years. And there's a reason why he loved working with us. You know, so in that you know, fashion, I'm gonna hand it over to Daniel, and Daniel can talk more about it.
All right, thank you, Andy. Yes, as Andy said, I've been a restaurant owner and operator for 20 years. So I know that these are very difficult times, just impossible almost. And I've been a consultant for the last 10. Now I'm with Addmi. I'm really happy here. And the objective of Addmi is to work with restaurants. If restaurants are successful, we aren't successful. Our business model is based on the restaurant success. I'm going to talk about a couple of our key features, but first of all, I did want to say we are point of sale, but we also have many unique features that we complement existing point of sales. You don't have to get ours. If you're happy with what you have, but we can complement what you have in your operations, we can create new revenue streams and so forth. If you could put on the next slide, please. So one of our unique features, as Andy mentioned, is our smart QR code. It's really cool. So a lot of times you can go to a restaurant and you see a QR code, you're going to look at it with your smartphone and you're going to see the menu and then you're stopped. Well, with ours, you see the menu, you can order from the menu on your smartphone, you can pay from your phone. And then even after that, the location of where you're at can be in the QR code, or if the restaurant operator desires, you can receive a text message when the order's ready and you go pick it up at the counter. So that it depends. You know, we have a lot of flexibility that the restaurants can decide. We work together on how they want this to work. Originally, we started doing this just for restaurant dining. So how does this help? It reduces, if not eliminates, lines. No menus, no physical menus. So obviously bacteria, you know, especially nowadays with COVID. Reduces human error because it's the actual customer client who makes the order and the payment right there. So it cuts out the middleman. And then obviously staffing. So it could either reduce staff or you could utilize your staff in better ways. Okay. After seeing these QR codes about how we could use it, we started thinking out of the box. Well, how can we use this more? So if you could go to the next slide, please. So then we started saying, okay, well, why don't we create a virtual room service for hotels? So that's what we're doing. We're doing the testing right now. So a QR code, it will be given to the hotel guest when he checks in. It will also be placed in the hotel room. There's also a link that the guest, when he gets on the hotel Wi-Fi, opens up to this. And we will have 6 different restaurants on the code, 6 to 7, it depends. Right now we're working with our test is 6 restaurants. And the same way, it's the same procedure. The hotel guest can choose which restaurant he or she wants to order by, order, pay, and the delivery comes to the lobby. They meet at the lobby, and the hotel guest will receive a text message that your food is in the lobby, so you meet them there. And we're using this in a lot of different ways. So there's a lot of new revenue streams. We're working with apartments, and for the apartments, it's also a new revenue stream for the apartment owner, because they do get a little piece per transaction. We're working with office buildings, so we're literally substituting sandwich shops that are necessary amenities in office buildings, but they're money losers. There's very seldom do you see a sandwich shop that actually makes money that's in an office building. So that's what we're doing. We're also working with food halls locally in Albuquerque. We're in 2 food halls here. And so we're using the QR codes in a lot of different ways. And I think what's important here is it's the fact that once a restaurant is working with us, maybe signs on just for delivery, maybe wants just online delivery from his website, but we can tie him or her into these other added revenue streams. So if once they're signed on, we will put them in the hotels. In the hotels, it could be, if the hotel is next door, it doesn't have to use a delivery service, our delivery service. It could also be in-house delivery. If we could go to the next slide, please.
Daniel, somebody said they're hearing 2 people presenting. I'm not getting that, but is anybody else getting the, and I think it's reverberation?
Carol, it may also be if they have Zoom open and Facebook Live open that they are hearing both speaker systems going through. So just make sure that they do not have both Zoom on and Facebook Live on.
Okay. Got that, everyone? And if you have 2 people listening to it in the same room with 2 different computers, that's also going to drive you crazy. So make sure one of those speakers is off. And Daniel.
Okay. So to the next slide, please.
There you go.
So I did want to get a little bit further into the delivery of what we're doing. So we have a very strong partnership now with the Uber fleet. So we're using their fleet, and we do only charge 10% to the restaurant. This is very important nowadays. We know about the costs, about how much everybody's paying using the traditional methods of third-party delivery. We have a very strong relationship. It is getting better. It is getting tighter. We are going to get better pricing from Uber, where that means our ultimate consumer will be paying less also. So, I mean, obviously our first goal is for the restaurant, but it needs to be a win-win-win, a win for everyone. Through this delivery, this is what ties a lot of our different pieces together, whether it's the delivery to the hotel, to the apartments, and so forth. So for us, the delivery, it's not a big money maker, but it is definitely facilitates everything that we're doing. Next slide, please. So I did want to talk a little bit about our business model, which Andy did mention. It's free. Our software is free to businesses. We don't have monthly fees for the software. There's no licensing fees for the software. There's no contracts. If you don't like working with us, if you don't like what you have, you can stop the next day. We don't like it when somebody feels obligated that they sign something, a document, that they have to keep working with them if they don't like it. That's just not the way we work. So basically what we do is per transaction, if the transaction is $10 or $75, we're going to charge for online ordering. It's 30 cents, which is paid by the customer. That is it. That's what we make. For our point of sale, it's 15 cents. And that could be either transferred to the customer or paid by the operator. It depends on what the operator wants to do. We also have financing. We have a very good partnership with POS Portal. 24-month financing. It's basically leased for 24 months and then it becomes yours after that, which means you have great support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If something from the hardware breaks, the next day you will get a replacement, which for us, it's a great deal for everybody. I just want to state again, Addmi only makes money when our customers, our restaurants make money. That's the way our formula is. That's why we have every incentive for you to do well. I would like now to introduce my colleague, Ben Harrison. Ben has been with Lavu since the beginning days. So he's been working with Andy forever. I'm not going to say how many years, but for a long time. Ben's the creative director of Addmi, and he's going to go over a couple of other features and go over what I didn't go over, okay? So if you could do the next slide, and Ben, it's all you.
All right, thanks, Daniel. Yeah, you guys covered a lot of it. Let me see if there's anything else. You know, these slides will be up on the screen, but what I'm going to talk about is just kind of go over a few key points, make sure it's clear. But yeah, so some of the things that I think are really good about Addmi and really helpful in these times are the real low upfront costs and the ease of getting started. I mean, if somebody wants to set up their store, you know, right now, and they could be offering delivery later today. I mean, it's just that easy. Our menu, we've been told by people that use it that our menu is very easy to understand and easy to use. It's flexible and also efficient. So, you know, you share settings with different items, and it makes it real easy to turn a certain item off when you run out, and or they can automatically go off if you're using our inventory feature. So we've heard a lot of compliments on our interface and how it all works. Of course, we have the point of sale, and then if you don't need a point of sale, but you only want to try our delivery or the QR code ordering, that's easy to do. And all you need to get started either way is an iPad. Of course, we have the full hardware package available, like Daniel said, with financing, you know, with printers and kitchen displays and all of those features. But all you really need, if you want to try it out right away, you just get an iPad, load the Addmi display app on there, and then set up your menu, turn it on, give somebody the link or the QR code to scan, and they can order right now. Of course, you have to set up your payment processor, which we recommend Square at this point. Let's see what else. So a couple of cool things about Addmi is working with Andy is great, and I really enjoy it. And one of the reasons that I think we like working together and why people like our products is because we are constantly innovating, and we're always looking for ways like, how can we make this easier, or what's something that people do every day, all day long, and if you could just automate that, it would save you so much time, and maybe save so many errors or human error, you know. A few things that we do that are kind of automated and they're really nice features are whenever anybody is placing orders with our system, we collect a limited amount, but a very important information about the customer. So Andy was talking about Magakoro, who started using us, you know, a year and a half ago or whatever. They had no idea who their customers were. I mean, they knew them when they came in, but they had no way to really contact them and to reach out to them, to market to these people. And they really had no idea what these people were ordering, or this kind of information is collected with Addmi. So now they're able to use our integrated email marketing service. It's right inside the dashboard. And so what you do is you go in there and they can send out an email instantly to their now thousands of contacts they've collected over the past year. And the last time they did this, they sent out an email to all the people, and they told them their new hours, that they had to close for a few weeks. A couple months ago, they closed down. And when they reopened, they sent this email out, and they literally, I mean, they had so much business, they had to close early because the response to that email was so good. This is the kind of thing that anyone who uses Addmi can use our email marketing service. It's very, very good. Put a link right to your store, tell them about your specials and your new hours, whatever that might be. A few other things that are great is that are automated. We have a loyalty program that people can turn on if you choose to. And what happens is after you set up your loyalty incentives and whatnot, maybe you order 10 times and the next time you get something for free. You program all that in how you want it to be. But it happens automatically. So if I were to put an order in right now to Daniel's restaurant restaurant, then instantly, as soon as I'm done ordering, it would tell me I've gained 1 loyalty point or whatever that increment is. So that's pretty nice. It just makes it really easy. Nobody has to download an app or carry around a punch card that I've got some in my wallet. I can't even read them anymore because it's so beat up. It happens automatically for people, and they seem to respond well to that. People like that. Also, another kind of a cool thing is when somebody places an order, let's say I order from Daniel's restaurant once again, I return maybe a week later to put in another order there again. It'll remember that I had ordered from him previously, and it'll put up on the screen, would you like to reorder? Because I don't know about you guys, but pretty much every time I order from any restaurant, I order the same thing. You know, you find out this one thing that you love to eat, and you get it every time. So our system will just put that right on the screen for you. So it's real easy for people to reorder, and it just kind of adds a nice little touch there. So these are the kind of features that that we are constantly looking for, like how to improve the system in even these kind of small ways. Let's see, what else do we want to talk about? So we have some incentives. Yeah, I didn't know, Daniel, if you talked about this at all, but if we know right now is a good time for some people that are looking for a way to be able to offer delivery real easily, or maybe curbside pickup. We do have some incentives right now, or some like free consultation. We will if you're interested but you're not sure, you can contact us, and we will kind of run through our feature set. We'll ask you, what are you trying to do? We'll kind of let you know what features we have, and if we think that we're a good match for you. And then we'll also help you to get started with your menu, so that we can make sure that you understand how to get the most out of our system. Because as Daniel was saying, if the more sales that you guys get, the more that we make. And so that's in our best interest to have you set up correctly. So we'd like to do that. We also have 10 free deliveries is what we can offer for people that sign up with our delivery right away. That means you don't pay even the low 10%. It's going to be free for you to try. So you'll keep all of your revenue from those sales. And we're pretty sure that people that try it are going to like it. And it's actually, if you ask me, it's already an incentive just to keep going, because our prices are the best. It's the lowest rate I think they're going to find. I mean, I don't have to guarantee that, but go ahead and try it and see what you think. We've had really good response with the people that are using our service. And by the way, we also have a VIP level support with this delivery platform. And so whenever anybody has a problem, usually there's a short 1-minute wait time, and there's a good email program where they do refunds for you. So it's very good support for our delivery service. Let me see. We've got some cool places where you can go out and try this. I don't know if everybody mentioned this yet, but one example is Sawmill Markets. Excuse me. One really cool thing that they've done over there is they've kind of banded together all of their restaurants. So that's a food court, right? So you go in, you scan a QR code, you can place your order, and then they tell you when to come pick it up. That's the way they're doing it over there. They're not delivering to the tables yet. But for right now, what they're doing for delivery is they're allowing you to order from any of their, I think it's like a dozen or so restaurants that are in there currently. So you can place an order, you can get a pizza, you can get a sandwich, you can get a coffee, all these things, and put them all on one order for delivery. So you don't have to pay multiple delivery fees and all this. So that's another creative thing that we kind of figured out. We saw what they were trying to do over there, and we worked with them, and it's a great solution. So like I say, that's the kind of thinking that we do over here, and we'd really like to talk to anybody. If anybody at the end of this has any questions they want to ask, or if they want to contact us directly, we'd love to find out what you're trying to do, maybe what some of your problems you're having right now you're trying to solve, and see if we can be of service to you.
Ben, we actually do have a question from the chat, if I could jump in. Sure. Is Square the only option for credit card processing, or can you work with other processors?
Currently, we have one other option is Stripe. We are in talks with another one or two. I don't know if I should name them yet, but if somebody really had a good reason why they wanted to continue with their current processor, let's talk about it and let's see what we can do. But for right now, one of the good things with Square that we can say is that not only are our reports integrated with theirs, so you get not only Addmi reports, but you get Square's reports and refund capabilities. But we also offer cost plus pricing through Square. And what that means is the typical credit card processing rates are reduced. And on the 10th of the month, you actually get a rebate from Square. So let's say, for example, if the payment processing fee was 2.9% plus 30 cents, what happens is Square actually refunds you the entire 30 cents and then also a few points off that 2.9. So maybe like 2.5, and they give you back the 30 cents. So on the 10th of the month, they actually refund that to your account. So you end up paying less. Well, I don't want to say less than if you just use Square, but let's just say that it's a good low rate right now. But yeah, if you want to talk to us about your current processor, we can do that. Any more questions?
So I'm not seeing any more questions right now. Carol, did you have anything?
Well, I just want to say, you know, I saw this and I brought it to this group because, you know, we've been talking about these third-party delivery costs, and it's outrageous at 30%. These guys have been in the business. They're trying to give us something that really works for restaurants. And I just want to say, if you don't own your own emailing list or your own list, that's the first thing you should do is capture people's emails and be able to talk to them, your customers directly. You know, that's saved some folks in this day and age. So that's super important. I love that fact that, you know, they're not trying to keep things from you. They're not trying to make this their list. They're trying to make it help you. And then also with the capabilities for apartment buildings and hotels and other things, I just think, you know, they're really thinking about us, the restaurant. They're not just thinking about them. And you can tell that from the pricing. I think the pricing is really, really reasonable. You do have possibly, you know, some cost in buying an iPad, but most of you have iPads, try it. So what else? And you know what, there's 19 on Zoom. I don't know how many are on Facebook, but if there are any questions on Facebook, or if you want to unmute yourself and ask questions, I think there's a few of us, so we won't get too confused with that. So would anybody like to ask a question?
Carol, we did get one on the chat.
Okay.
Is there a minimum order amount from the customer? I'm on Sawmill's site. There's a $1 added to delivery fee for a quote unquote small order, and there's also a distance surcharge. So can they detail for us some of these added fees and surcharges that weren't brought up?
Yeah, I can definitely do that. So the $1 fee, it's for orders under $20. And the distance surcharge, it's literally what our pricing is from directly passed off from our agreement with the third-party delivery. So what this means is, in order to, there's a delivery fee, and then after the first mile, there's a charge per mile, and that is directly passed on to the consumer. So what this means is the delivery fee and the 10%, everything that's coming in is basically generated and going straight out to Uber. Our only intake from these sales it is that convenience fee. Now, as I did say, we're working really strong with them. Our partnership is going stronger with the Uber fleet and the company itself, where we're going to be able to reduce the pricing for the consumer. And as soon as that comes down, we're going to change that model completely. But at the moment, that's the way it is.
So, and I want to just say something about that. It's been my contention since all of this third-party delivery started that the customer thinks they're paying for the delivery. They don't know that you're paying for the delivery as the restaurant, number one, and they have no idea that you're paying 30% for that delivery. I think the customer is more than happy to pay for somebody to drive the food to me, and those are your customers' costs, not your costs.
Yeah, exactly. If we were charging 30%, we would not be having the dollar fee. That's for darn sure. But right now, I mean, it's the restaurants. They have to do anything to survive. I mean, we know the restaurant business is already based on margins. I mean, 1% here, 1% there can make you or break you. So
Daniel, you
yeah.
talked to us about the cost of the point of sale.
the point of sale is free. The software is free. The hardware is not, but that can be financed. Now, what we get is it's a price per transaction, which is 15 cents, which could be either passed on to the customer per transaction, or it could be paid by the operator. That depends on the restaurant. But there's no monthly fees for the software. There's no licensing fees for the software. I mean, literally, we make what our revenue is. It's based on that transaction.
So what about the hardware? It's a iPad and,
Yeah, it's
maybe a printer and a cash drawer if you want to go the full route, right?
Exactly. So if somebody wanted to sign on just with our online delivery and they only want an iPad, they could even finance just that one single iPad for 24 months. So that would be about a $14.50 charge per month. And then after that, after 24 months, they have to pay 10% of the original value, and then it becomes theirs. A lot of times, people using our leasing option, they prefer to continue the leasing after, because you have that same protection of when it's being leased. So you have the 24/7 support on the hardware. You get replaced for free if it breaks. So that is completely up to the customer. This is Addmi is not in the middle here. We are a partner with this company, and we put the customer, the restaurant, in connection with the POS portal, and then it's an agreement between those two.
So what would my, let's say I want the one whole point of sale system on a monthly basis, what would that cost me?
Around $45, $50.
Okay.
Maybe even up to $60. But as I said, that's just for the hardware, and there's no other expenses to us. So.
Are there any more questions? I don't see any. So if you're interested in this, there is a link we put in here. Did I get that in there? Daniel, I think you sent that just directly to me.
Oh, I thought I put that in.
There's not a link in the chat yet.
Okay, yeah. If Daniel, would you do that? And also, I was going to let you all know that we will have this, we don't have this up there yet, but under our vendor resources under COVID-19, there's a page of vendors that have, great offers for you. And we will put Addmi in here. So, and we'll have that link in there as well. And okay, thank you. No, Daniel, that was again to me.
Yeah, I can't get out of that. I don't know.
Okay, here, let me, oh dear, wait. Select, okay, let me see if I've got it. Daniel, if you go to the chat.
Yeah, I'm there.
And go to everyone.
Got you.
Because I'm,
yeah, I got it right now.
Got it, okay.
Great. And there's also to open an account also on our website. So.
Okay.
Great.
I saw, was there one more question? And if they have questions specific to their restaurants, I don't want to lose this, because if you don't have a QR code capability, this is QR code on steroids, right? It's not just your menu. It's your menu. It's the capability for your customers to order from that. And I know we all love our servers and we absolutely adore them. It's important that they can stay in the middle of this, or they don't have to. Again, it's touchless menus. So you don't have to print a bunch of menus on a daily basis. You don't have to wash your menus down. There's lots of advantages, and tell your friends about this, because I'm excited that this is coming out in a time of COVID. You're right, because I think this is part of what you need to be doing in order for us to get reopened, and we can have that discussion some other time. But I do think that these kind of things are going to help you get reopened. And then on the back end, you're going to have this capability once this is all over And I think it's something that we all need to have. All of our restaurants need to have this kind of online ordering capability, no matter what. So we have been at addmi.com is who you need to contact. And if you want to go in and look at the Addmi dashboard, you can. And that link is in here. And then again, we will have it on our COVID vendor resources in the next couple of days.
You know what I'd like to say, Carol, real quick? I put my email on there, ben@addmi.com. We would love to do a Zoom demo for anybody that wants to see a sample account, and maybe we can show how the point of sale works and how the Addmi display system works for orders coming in. And we'll send you a QR code so you can scan it yourself and try it out. So I'd like to extend that as well.
And I'd like to say one last thing, Carol. We sure do appreciate the way you're fighting so hard for the restaurants. That is awesome, man. Everybody's behind you. We are proud members of the Mexico Restaurant Association, and keep it going, man, because without your say, you know, I mean, without the power of NMRA, there's nobody united. So keep it going.
Well, we will. And we've got a couple, just for those of you here, we do have a couple of campaigns coming up. One campaign is for folks to buy gift certificates from their favorite restaurant, buy 1, buy 10, buy a bunch, you know, before the end of the year. And then our next campaign will be directed at the governor and the legislature to help us out as much as they can, or, you know, to make it hurt, really. It's by their choice that we have been closed. You know, restaurants in Arizona and Texas are not closed, but it's by their choice we've been closed, and we need to demand that they give us some equal help and pay for the closure, basically. So that's coming up, and stay tuned. I really appreciate everybody being on this webinar, and tell your friends, because I think this is a great deal and something that we need to get out there. So thanks everybody for being here. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Ben, and tell Andy thank you as well.
We'll do.
Thank you.
Dion, thanks for reading the questions. We'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.
Good day.